order of the Downers Grove Township Board of Trustees on February 15th, 2018, at 7:30 p.m. At this time, I'd like to invite the audience to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk Bransky, can you call the roll to establish a quorum?
Trustee Vanderline.
Here.
Trustee Kelly. Here. Trustee Donner.
Here.
Trustee Ferguson. Here. Supervisor Cole.
Here, we have a full quorum. At this point in time, we invite public comments. Residents may speak on township issues in general. If you have filled out a form and want to speak now, you can do that. If you have not filled out a form but want to speak, grab one of these over on the table and fill it out and hand it in.
We also would like, Dave and I, we're going to give the peer jury update, and after that happens, we will have a public comment period after our update.
Okay, and I'll hold these two until that time, if that's okay with the two people that have signed up.
There should be.
Mary Ann and Fanny. Is there a third
Oh, yeah.
or fourth? No? Okay. Okay with you
So
guys?
I can make comments now, and I can make comments
You
after?
can make comments of a general nature now, or you can wait
Thank you.
until peer jury.
I think this is important to say now.
Okay.
Yeah. And here's copies. I was going to email them to you, but
Hang
I
on.
have a hard copy now.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was going to say, so you can follow along. I am Fanny Moy. I'm a parent. My children went through the school system. Okay, so I want to say, I want to remind this Downers Grove Township Board that it has been 6 months since August 3rd, 2017, when Supervisor Mark Toman unilaterally killed the peer jury program. In that time, approximately 50 teen first-time offenders have lost the opportunity to benefit from peer jury, and 200 students this year will miss out on the benefits of serving their community as jurors. Today, I want to share a case that came before the peer jury to help everybody to understand that the program impacts real, living, breathing people. The offender was a quiet young man in high school. As he was about to punch another student, he was stopped by a teacher before the blow landed. The perceived victim was let go while this young man was charged. This being his first offense, he was given the option of peer jury. During the hearing, through probing questions by the trained peer jurors, it came out that he had been bullied for months by the other young man. And when he couldn't take it anymore, he retaliated. The jurors discussed with him better ways to handle the situation, interviewed his parents, and then meted out community service and counseling. Can you imagine, without peer jury available, how he would have been subjected to the criminal courts? And with tight time constraints, no empathetic and sensitive discussion would have occurred. He would have stayed a tight-lipped teenager and then been punished again with a criminal record and fine. Victimized is more appropriate. Teenagers deal with hormones, emotional stress, self-discovery, instabilities, and social pressures. Given yesterday's angry teenager shooting and killing 17 of his ex-classmates in a Florida high school, and given the recent suicides of teens in our area high schools, specifically DG North and Naperville, the case with this teenager had the potential to turn out badly for him and our community. Peer jury is all about second chances, learning from mistakes, and building capable, kind, responsible children, which benefits families and communities. Going forward, if any similar horrific situations occur in any of our 8 towns within this township, you as officials will carry the burden of having removed a key layer of protection and intervention that could have prevented the destructive outcome. It behooves all of you on the board and the residents of this township to do the right thing and reinstate pure jury. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to comment at this time, or you can comment at your... Did you fill out a form?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm Mary Ann Vasquez.
You have a form?
No, you have.
Oh, okay. So you want to talk now instead of at peer review? Okay.
Well, it seems you have a lot of discussion. I don't know how long it goes. And I'm doing a favor for a friend also by being here.
Okay.
Each one of the board members, excuse me, I'm Mary Ann Vasquez. I live on Stonewall in Downers Grove. Each one of the board members should have received an email from a Karen. I am just going to read that email that you should have received today. She couldn't attend tonight, so that is why I'm speaking on her behalf. I just wanted to let you know I am a big supporter of peer jury. I am the mother of a victim. My daughter had the option of sending the indicted girl straight to court, but she chose peer jury for the indicted because she did not want to ruin the life of that girl. That was her own decision. Nobody influenced her in any way. Mistakes are made by a lot of teenagers. And mistakes we all made at some point back then. Peer jury means that they will get another chance. That's the only humane thing to do. It's giving them the knowledge and knowing that teenage brains are not fully developed until 24. I live in Hinsdale. I know a lot of boys and girls profited from peer jury. So it is not by any means a racial, social, or class problem. Teenagers, being teenagers, appear in all demographics. I hope you reconsider the decision of eliminating peer jury. It's a great thing, and I am saying that on behalf of a victim. Thank you.
Thank you. No other comments at this time? Okay. We'll move on to item number 5, and a motion to accept the minutes from the January 25th meeting.
So moved. Second?
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Next item is the trustee audit approval of bills and claims. Can I have a motion, please?
A motion to approve bills and claims as presented.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Next item is Gary Ostrowski, who's our General Assistance Coordinator, to give a brief presentation on his job duties. He does have an intermission scheduled, so if it goes over an hour. Go
Good
ahead.
evening, my name is Gary Ostrowski. I'm the Director of General Assistance. General Assistance is a welfare program. It is mandated by law. It is in the state statutes under Chapter 23. It is a program that's designed for basically single adults that have no income, no assets. They've lost their jobs, unemployment has run out, and they would be able to receive a grant of $250 per month. If you're pending Social Security disability, there's 2 different programs here. That program is also $250 a month, and that's pending approval of SSDI, which is supplemental security income, or SSI, which is supplemental security income also. The SSI is the federal level of welfare. The maximum is $750 per month. At that point, they would get no benefits from the township because we are a welfare office. When you're on general assistance and you're looking for work, I require 16 jobs per month. Client has to join a job club, and I need to see every month that you have applied for those 16 jobs. I want you to print it out. I want you to show me I have applied here. Because today they don't do interviews any longer. The other component of general assistance is emergency assistance. That is not mandated by the state of Illinois. That is to help somebody get over a hump due to an unexpected expense, car repair, an illness, they get behind in their rent, they get behind in their gas or electric bill. So we're able to help with certain dollar figures, but they have to meet the guidelines that are set forth as far as financially. That we don't do any type of job search, we just ask them to provide us with the documentation, and once they do, then we're able to assist. The only program that we will not help with is someone is already getting food stamps, or if they're on Section H, which is subsidized housing. We can't supplement a supplement. We will help with food vouchers if you have an application pending with public aid. That's about the only time that we will help with a family case. For any other financial for a family, we send them to public aid. We also have a LIHEAP program, which is state and federal funded. During this year, I have taken so far from September through now, 209 applications for LIHEAP. That is a one-time payment for their gas and electric bill. And they can get that once per season. They do have to meet the federal guidelines for that program. The other program that I run here is I'm in charge of the 2 cemeteries, Oak Hill, Oak Crest. I am a passport agent. I'm also the weed commissioner. During the summer, I get a lot of complaints regarding weeds. I go out, I inspect the property, we send out letters. If the property isn't cut, they've got 10 days. If it's not cut, I give them another 5. After that, I contact the highway department. They will send a crew out, they will cut the grass, bill us, I bill the homeowner. If the homeowner doesn't pay, I lien the property. The other portion that we do here is Salvation Army. I'm a Salvation Army rep, but only for the village of Downers Grove, not the entire township. All the other townships have their own reps. The other villages have their own reps for Salvation Army. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. Any questions?
Gary, I have a question. The section that you're referring to is like portable housing choice vouchers that individuals have. And a lot of times when they step up into that situation where they're going into a housing choice voucher, whether it be portable or it be project-based, do we have the ability to give them the money for the initial security deposit? Yeah. Because they need like $50 or $25 or something like that.
No, when you're on a Section 8 voucher, you're expected to pay the full first month's rent and the full security deposit.
Right. Well, I'm talking about an individual that's zero income. That really don't.
No, we won't help them. We refer them to one of the charities in the area. And usually the county does have funding for first month's rent and for security deposits.
Right, yeah. Okay. You had good success in people over there with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Gary.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate your time. Takes us to item number 8. I'll entertain a motion to approve the fiscal year 18-19 Township Employee Policy Manual.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
Yeah.
second that.
Is there any discussion on this? You didn't have to print it out. You got a printed out copy. Procedure from here is, with your approval, we will supply each employee with a copy that includes the new sexual harassment policy that you approved last month or the month before, I forget which, last month I think. All of the employees will sign a sheet indicating that they read and received it, and then we keep that on file. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Next is a motion, can I have a motion to approve a contract?
So moved.
Second.
This is a motion to approve discussion. This is a motion to approve a contract with Reef LLC of Chicago, Illinois. They were the low bidder on the proposal to construct first floor modifications. They came in very close to the engineer's estimates. Chris and I checked all references along with Ed, our engineer. They all came back in good condition. Upon approval, we'll make arrangements for first of a pre-construction meeting. Any other discussion?
I just want to say this is my first experience with a memo like Ed's, and I thought he did an excellent and very thorough job. I appreciated his helping my understanding of the process and the contract.
Good. Anything else? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. You guys are giving me a lot of homework here. That brings us to item number 10.
Okay, this is the motion on the dial ride contract addendum. I would like to make a motion to table this action at this time because we're waiting for more information from Pace and others on this to make an informed decision.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We'll get that together and get it to you as quickly as possible. Item number 11, can I get a motion to approve a contract with Ashiana Banquets?
I'll move to approve a contract with Ashiana Banquets as a location for the Township Annual Town Meeting to be held on Tuesday, April 10, 2018.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
No, it's obviously, they give us a very price on that size of the meeting, so.
Yeah, it's a minuscule contract, but it's been our policy in the past to bring it before the board for approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Item number 12 is a discussion item. If there's any additional discussion, this was also on the January agenda, and the public hearings will be next month at the March 15th meeting, starting at 7 o'clock for the general fund meeting and 7:15 for the highway fund meeting, and then we'll have our regular meeting at 7:30. Is there any discussion or question about the budgets at this time that we didn't cover last month? Or that we won't cover next month?
I have none.
All in favor say aye. Or wait, this is a discussion item, I don't have to. All right, thank you. Next item is a peer jury update. At this time, I'll turn the meeting over to Trustee Vanderlaan and Trustee Ferguson.
All right, I'll give the update. Over the past 2 months, Trustee Ferguson and I have engaged in conversations with various peer jury stakeholders and others with knowledge of peer jury programs. Specifically, we've had conversations with peer jury supporters, including the Friends of Peer Jury Group, current and past township employees who are involved with the peer jury program, people outside the township who run other peer jury programs, and police chiefs within the township. Through this process, we gained a greater understanding of how the township administered the peer jury program, especially as compared to how peer jury programs are administered elsewhere in the state. One fact for the board to keep in mind as we consider the future of peer jury is that according to estimates we received from the Friends of Peer Jury Group, which were compiled by Roy Roshinsky, township staff working on the peer jury program spent between 6 and 7 hours per case. And this doesn't include time spent on peer jury by police officers in the township. On the other hand, in Addison and Elmhurst, where peer jury programs are run municipally through the police departments, each case took an average of 1 to 2 hours of department time. Now, our conversations culminated in a meeting this past Monday with police chiefs from Downers Grove, Westmont, Clarendon Hills, and Willowbrook, along with a representative of the Hinsdale Police Department on behalf of Hinsdale's police chief. And I note as an aside that police chiefs from Burr Ridge, Darien, and Oak Brook, with whom we had previously conversed, were invited to that meeting but ultimately unable to attend. At that meeting, the police chiefs and the Hinsdale officer affirmed the value of peer jury as a court diversion program and as a useful tool for dealing with juvenile offenders. In short, they'd like to see peer jury continue in some form. They also indicated openness to having peer jury run at the municipal level, so long as there's cooperation among the municipalities and a point of contact for coordination. However, they stated that any such program would require approval from the governing bodies of their respective municipalities. Coincidentally, we understand that the Downers Grove Village Council is considering directing staff to prepare a draft operating process to reinstate the peer jury program. We welcome the village's efforts to study this issue, and we'd like to work collaboratively with the Village of Downers Grove to determine whether the peer jury program can be run more efficiently at the municipal level. And if that is the case, we'd be happy to discuss with the village how the township can assist with the transition and what supportive role the township can play in the future. Just to give one example, the township could serve as an ongoing source of referrals for drug or alcohol counseling for certain juvenile offenders. Pardon me. We also received word earlier this week that Hinsdale's police chief is interested in exploring a partnership alongside the Village of Downers Grove. So we believe the Village of Downers Grove should consider what role the Hinsdale Police Department can play in the future of peer jury. Again, Trustee Ferguson and I would be happy to take part in a conversation between these two villages. In sum, rather than recommending a decision by this board to be made independent of a decision by the Downers Grove Village Council, we recommend meeting with the Downers Grove Village staff tasked with preparing the draft operating process and with appropriate personnel from the Village of Hinsdale and its police department in order to jointly consider the best and most efficient future for the peer jury program.
Good, that's right.
Andrew, do you have anything to add?
No, I think that sums up our efforts the last couple of months very well.
Nice report.
Any comments from anyone? I'd like to thank you guys for the legwork you put in on this.
Nice report.
It sounds like you have some next steps already kind of roughed in. So, good to hear. Any other comments? Okay.
I have comment.
I accepted your comment earlier, that's why I asked.
You said that I could speak at both.
Or,
I don't recall
I'm not going to
that.
argue the item, I'm not going to argue.
Do you recall that?
We're going to move on to the supervisor's report.
Well, I'll make comments
very
next
briefly.
time. Thank you very much.
You're
I'll
welcome.
make sure that I follow up
You're
on
welcome.
that.
I don't really have much for a supervisor's report. I put in your pamphlet a handout, February 20th presentation on bushes and shrubs at Maze Lake, just to give you guys an idea of the shrubs that die off around the building, what we're going to be looking to replace those with that are more amenable to butterflies, dragonflies, and bees, basically. So look forward for that in the spring. Is there any old business? Is there any new business? At this time, we do have reason for executive session, and I'll entertain a motion from a trustee to go to executive session. I need you to read that completely, whoever does.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn to executive session pursuant to exceptions allowed as per the Open Meetings Act 5 LCS 120-2C21, discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under this act, and Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 120-2C11, consideration of probable and imminent litigation.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Vanderline.
Aye.
Trustee Kelly.
Aye.
Trustee Donner.
Aye.
Trustee Ferguson.
Aye.
Supervisor Cohen.
Aye. At 7:54, we are adjourned to executive session. We do not anticipate a vote upon return. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to reconvene to open session.
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Trustee Vanderline.
Aye.
Trustee Kelly.
Aye.
Trustee Ferguson.
Aye.
Trustee Donner.
Aye.
Supervisor Cohen.
Aye, we are reconvened at 8:26, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.